Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Thursday, April 30th, 2015, around 7:19 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. Cloudy out, sun and clouds today, highs in the 50s. Going to do the same thing tomorrow, but the weather pattern change is coming in next week, 70s and 80s and maybe 90s. Some news to report. The NHL has announced its 3 finalists for the Bill Masterson Award, which is for dedication and perseverance for hockey. The 3 finalists are Minnesota Wild's goaltender Devin Dubnyk and Ottawa Senators goaltender Andrew Hammonds, the McBurglar, and Pittsburgh Penguins defenseman Chris Letang. And the winner will be announced on the NHL award ceremonies in Las Vegas in June 24th. And that's about it on the news. Third and final video blog subject of the night is my personality profile. And tonight's personality profile is about one of the most famous Cleveland Indian players of all time. I'm talking about Jim Thome. Jim Thome was a first baseman, third baseman, and designated hitter. He played the majority of his career with the Indians, but he spent other times with the Phillies, White Sox, Dodgers, Twins, and O's. And Jim was born and he grew up in Peoria, Illinois. And when he was a young boy growing up, he was a big Chicago Cubs fan. In fact, one day as a kid, he snuck into the Wrigley Field clubhouse to get an autograph of his favorite player on the Chicago Cubs at the time, Dave Kingman, who was a home run hitter nicknamed King Kong. Jim played basketball and baseball in high school. He was a very good baseball player, and he was hoping to get drafted by a major league team after high school in 1988, but no Major League Baseball team drafted him, so he went to college at Illinois Central College. He played basketball and baseball. He was so good at baseball that the Cleveland Indians drafted him in the 13th round in the 1989 Major League Baseball draft, and he signed a contract with the Indians. Then he went to the minor leagues, and he spent 5 seasons in the minor leagues. He had a couple of cups of coffee with the Indians. He made his Major League debut in September 4th, 1991, and then he also got called up in 1992 and 1993, but he didn't spend significant playing time until 1994, when he was called up for good. He originally played third base, but eventually he moved over to first base, and when he got older, he became a designated hitter. And Jim Thome was very consistent. 17 times he hit at least 20 or more home runs in a season. 9 times he had 100 or more RBIs in a season. 3 times he led the American League in walks. 2 times he led the American League in strikeouts for a batter, and he led the National League in home runs. One year he had 47 back in 2003 with the Phillies. One time he was a AL Silver Slugger title. 5 times he made the AL All-Star team. Oh no, he was an All-Star 5 times. And one time he had a Silver Slugger award. Jim Thome was very consistent, hitting home runs and stuff. He is one of the few players in Major League history to have home runs, at least 100 home runs for 3 teams: the Cleveland Indians, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Chicago White Sox. And Jim Thome was probably one of the greatest power hitters of all time. He has not been linked to PEDs, which is rare in the era he was played in, because most of the home run hitters during the era that Jim Thome played were suspected PEDs, or some of them used PEDs and flunked tests. But Jim Thome did not flunk a test, or he was not linked to PEDs, which is pretty amazing stuff. He's the all-time home run king in Cleveland Indians history, and he finished in the top 10 in MVP voting 4 times. He never won an MVP award or any major awards during his career, and he was an all-around player Jim Thome, a very class act and stuff, and his career stats: 276 career average, 612 home runs, 1,699 RBIs, 1,747 walks, 2,548 times he struck out. That's up there, and he has 2,328 hits. Jim Thome wore number 25 for the Cleveland Indians. That's been taken out of circulation. There's talk that his number is going to be retired within the next few years. Jim Thome is eligible for the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2018 for the first try. Many people would think he might not get in on the first try, but he never flunked a steroid test. He was never linked to TDs, hitting over 600 home runs in an era he played in where most of the players who hit so many home runs were linked to PEDs or flunked PED tests. Jim Thome's probably going to be very up close to being the first ballot Hall of Fame. I think the year he is eligible for the Hall of Fame, Chipper Jones, who played his entire career with the Atlanta Braves, is eligible for the Hall of Fame. Chipper Jones is going to be voted into the Hall of Fame on his first try, and Jim Thome will, in my opinion, be voted into the Hall of Fame for the first time. Many sports writers will probably vote Jim Thome in because he never used PEDs. Even a lot of sports commentators said that he's a true Hall of Famer. A few years ago, at the closing remarks on one of the Real Sports with Brian Gumbel, after Jim Thome hit his 600 home run, he said that Jim Thome is a Hall of Fame. Many of his peers who hit so many home runs, like A-Rod and Sammy Sosa or Mark McGwire, are all tainted because of PED use and flunking tests. He says Jim Thome is a true Hall of Famer. And I think Jim Thome is going to go in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot in 2018. No question about it. And that's about it on these video blogs for the night. Hope you enjoyed them. I love producing them every single day. Tomorrow, 3 more video blogs are coming. First one will be the start of the return of the top 10 list of everything and anything. This time I'm going to have the top 10 list of each top 10 players of each NBA franchise. First one I'm going to be talking about will be the Boston Celtics, 17-time NBA champions, the top 10 players in Celtics history. This is an amazing list. Some players had to be left out because the Celtics had so many players because they won so many championships. Second video blog of the day is about Rondo's future as like an NBA superstar. Tell you my opinion on that. And the third and final video blog of the night will be the personalized profile. It will be about Molly Rosenblum, Fox 35 in Orlando, Florida, meteorologist and traffic reporter. The start of like 3 straight days of cute, leggy meteorologist from like Orlando, Florida, which Saturday is going to be Amy Swenzy and Sunday Elizabeth Hart. And next week we'll have the personality profiles of like Stanley Cup winning goaltenders, and then from mid-May to the end of May, the personality profile will be taking a brief hiatus, but it will be back in June with all new ones. I still have a lot of people I have to do personality profiles with, and Tuesday, everybody's waiting for this, my stories about the Boys and Girls Club Greater Billerica memories. Everybody's been waiting for this for my friends on Facebook who used to be associated with the club for one reason or another, and it's going to be a long one, so I'll have to share that on Facebook via my YouTube page. There's so many good stuff, good stories, and plus in May is sweeps month, so you're going to get a lot of great video blogs coming. And see you tomorrow. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Don't forget follow me on Twitter at Chewy7. Open to a Skype chat, so anybody wants to Skype with me, be my guest. And also June, when the first anniversary of these video blogs, that's coming up fast. June 6th was the first day I did my 2014 was the first time I did my video blog, so you'll be happy. And I'm trying to get guests on, so bear with me, a weekly guest. I'm shooting for the stars. And good night, everybody. In the words of Sean Lucia, get out and keep calm. And I'm a Julie Broughton guy. Bye.